Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Crusader Kings 2 Game of Thrones, and this time around we are streaming offline from twitch.tv, mainly because there's quite a lot of events that you have missed, and I'd like to get the introduction on the way without being interrupted every 2 seconds by the stream chat telling me to build shit. So, we'll get right into this. You missed a minor war with the Iron Throne and Orys Baratheon. Preferably the idea was that there was no point in recording it because they didn't have any dragons and it would be relatively easy for me to just simply take Rainwood and be done with it. So, I'll describe exactly what happened and you guys can get the gist of it from that. So, we rallied out from Storm's End as we always do. We clashed with Orys Baratheon around King's Landing. We defeated his host relatively easily. He only had about 15k guys against my 27 or so. Unfortunately, what I did not notice while I was up here at King's Landing fighting Orys is the fact that there was another Targaryen army coming up from Dawn and around the area of Yornwood. Now, this army I only noticed during the end of the actual war itself, when we'd already declared peace against him and reclaimed Rainwood, was the fact that all of the Connington house is being completely wiped out, with only her being the last remaining holder of the house itself. It's eventually going to fall into House Eastermont's inheritance, if you will. But yes, I went into House Connington here and realized that pretty much every single member of their family died against this Daena Targaryen. I thought to myself, how does all of these people, including even the children, some of them as young as like fucking 2, if you go into all of these, died stillborn. Long story short, the majority of the Connington family, and at least every single one of the male bloodline, has been completely destroyed and killed by Daena Targaryen. Pretty much the entire house of Connington has been completely wiped out. In order to prove and finalize this theory, scorch earth, land scorched by dragonfire. So I came to the conclusion that this Daena Targaryen must have a dragon somewhere. And at that point I thought, shit, at future wars with the Iron Throne is going to be impossible due to this fact. Although we are currently at peace with them. So, following up on this lead, I went to the Targaryens' little family tree and tracked down the remaining members of their family. The only 4 remaining members of House Targaryen is 2 male lowborn bastards that haven't even been recognized as proper Targaryens, and 2 female bastard daughters of the last Targaryen king. And one of these happens to be Daena Targaryen, who just happens to have a dragon and a dragon egg. At this point, I thought to myself, okay, who has all the Valyrian steel swords? And she has a sister, who just happens to have the sword Blackfire, Dark Sister, a dragon of her own, and a dragon egg of her own as well. And some pretty awesome traits. So at this point, I was thinking to myself, fuck, we're pretty fucking royally screwed in any future attempts to take the Iron Throne due to the fact that they have an endless supply of dragons from these 2 bitches. And then it hit me. I can do this. Because they're not married to anybody and they have no direct ties to House Baratheon, and no doubt they hate the fucking Baratheons pretty considerably, considering they've stolen the Iron Throne from House Targaryen and claimed them bastards unworthy of sitting on the Iron Throne, we can invite these girls, with their dragons, hopefully, to join us in the Stormlands, where we will promise to aid them in all future endeavours to place their royally hot asses on the Iron Throne. But also, as a side mission to all of this little fucking conundrum that we have going on, assuming that the Targaryen girls join us, my son has declared open war on his mother, due to the fact that she tried to imprison him. Probably because she has claims to all of his titles and she realized that House Garden is going to be completely destroyed once he becomes the King of the Reach. But needless to say, my son wasn't very happy about that, so he has rallied his banners, and I now have a choice between either joining my wife in the war or joining my son. Obviously, we are going to join my son in this. I imagine my wife's going to be considerably pissed off at me, but who gives a shit? Or replace her with someone fitter and better looking. She's getting old as it is anyway. But yeah, we will rally our troops, get to the side of the thing here. As you can see, my son has nowhere near the... Ooh, one Targaryen. And 2 Targaryen. We have 2 Targaryen dragons on our side. But yeah, as you can see, my son has nowhere near the forces capable of dealing with his mother's vast armies of the Reach. Although he has just won a small battle there, it's not going to last much longer. The Reach's military power adds up to around 60,000, give or take. So imagine what my armies are going to look like once I control all of the Reach. I will be literally unstoppable. Especially with these dragons, I will be the very pinnacle of death. This is a very useful... Yeah, whatever. Let's wait for all of our armies to get into position. This man is a coward for certain. He can fight shadows. Yeah, sure. What? Declare war. Stop declaring war. We're a bit busy right now. Under my guardians, Robert is slowly mastering the art of swordsmanship. Good, good. We'll need my future sons to be good if they want to rule from the Iron Throne. Let us hope so. Just wait for the remaining 5k or so troops to get into position and be done with it. We'll raise Bedrick at command. That reminds me, actually, while we're getting my troops together, let's quickly go over all of the sons and heirs that you have missed in the previous war. Now, as you know, my son is the heir to the Kingdom of the Reach, which we're dealing with right now. I have 2 of-age daughters, one of which is married now to the Prince of the Rock, which gives me an allegiance with the Lannisters if need be. Christina is currently not married, but we will deal with that later. Now, Lyanna Dondarrion died in stillborn. We've got Prince Beric Durrandon, who's currently 5 years old. Now, we've got Hedge Durrandon here, who is named after Hedgehog Killer, who in the Steam chat. But unfortunately, he died stillborn, so that's the only chance you'd have gotten at getting your name in the game, I'm afraid. And you got Harbert, who's another stillborn. That started to really piss me off. And you got Princess Lysa, named after Tully, one of the Tully princesses or something, who's 2 years old. Then you got Prince Duran, who's named after the first Storm King, and Prince Dale, who's only recently been born. So yeah, that's about all for now, really. For the child-wise, we can now move my troops over to Appleton. And first things first is giving command of my armies to the Dragon Riders that we have recently invited into our courts. Now, hopefully, this will give me a distinct advantage over the Reach, and I'm hoping that they know how to use their dragons properly. Hopefully. Okay, let's do this and take the fight to my wife's army of 44k troops. I'm quite worried, actually. Hopefully, everything will go according to plan, and the Targaryens will not fail me. I'm hoping. We should have a very large advantage against them, although I don't believe... Usually, when you have a dragon, there is a... Holy crap, we just knocked the shit out of them. Yeah, usually when we have a dragon, there's an automatic thing here for you to command the dragon yourself and send it into battle, but because the dragon is not directly under my control, I believe the AI does it for me. Which isn't too bad in itself, to be honest. There's far worse things that could be happening. Although it appears to be that the dragons have sort of taking a breather until... Well, yeah, appear to be a stalemate for now, although I may have spoken too soon. Yep, there they go. But you are a fat bitch, yes. We may as well chase my wife's 18k remaining troops over here. Chase the remaining 11k or so. Okay then, let's move straight to Highgarden and deal with my wife. Sounds weird when you put it like that, doesn't it? Hopefully she'll be there and we can burn her alive. Damn, I'm evil. Okay then, victory is ours. The second revolt against the rule of Queen Marla of the Reach has ended. Prince Alec of the Stormlands has won. That now makes my son the King of the Stormlands. And the Reach as well. Once I die and he inherits my claims anyway. Okay guys, we've jumped a little bit further ahead, just so we don't have to wait for everything to happen as it is. So I'll give you a quick overhaul on what happened in the last 2 minutes that we skipped ahead. So, my son is now the King of the Reach, and we have burned Highgarden to the ground, pretty much, although it's still intact, it's just burning and on fire, and, you know. We managed to kill my wife in the process, who was burnt alive by one of the dragons, which leaves me open. I'm available, ladies. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, in the process of all of this, it would appear that my son's previous wife died in the dungeons of my my previous wife. Go figure. So my son is open to marry again and has definitely gone up in the quality of her wife. He's now married a princess of the Rock into House Lannister, which gives him a strong claim to that, which will give me a strong claim in the future when I want to claim the Westerlands. So yeah, that's definitely a better wife for him, although he's already had the majority of his heirs through the last one, including a few bastards through this bitch. That is leather. So yeah, my son now controls all of Highgarden and will inherit the Stormlands as well once I pass on, as it is. So let's go to me, shall we? With my wife dead, burned alive by Daenerys Targaryen, the same fate that the Conningtons in Griffin's Roost came to meet. We have married the youngest of the two Targaryen bitches. This one controls the one of the dragons, one of the dragon eggs. She also has Blackfire and Dark Sister. She's also the best military commander that we have, hence with all the Valyrian steel swords and the dragon that she owns. Hopefully, and this is just a theory, but I'm hoping it's true, the Valyrian steel swords, Blackfire and Dark Sister should pass to me when she dies and her older sister dies. Because it will either pass to her older sister or it will pass to me. Hopefully me. I'm also kind of hoping that the dragon egg is passed to me if she still has it when she dies as well. Or she'll hatch it into another dragon and give me the dragon. I don't think it works like that, but we'll have to find out. They have actually fallen in love, so we're officially, you know, no bastards or anything going to pop up all over the place. No more bastards anyway. We've still got my oldest daughter's bastard to contend with that we're actually tutoring. But yeah, we are now married into House Targaryen, and we can use my wife's claim to the Iron Throne in order to wipe out Orys's, the House Baratheon's claim on the Iron Throne itself, which is pretty awesome. Especially once we have control of both the Stormlands and the Reach, will be pretty much unstoppable, especially since we now control the full might of the last two dragons in all of Westeros. The Iron Throne has lost its edge. It no longer controls the might of dragons. It's now in the sole hands of the Storm Kings, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm quite content actually with this little turn of events. I thought my son's little rebellion against my previous wife was going to be a rather dull affair that was going to end in only misery and despair, but we've got ourselves a fucking 29-year-old wife, which will give us future heirs and sons and whatnot, who has claimed the Iron Throne, and we've also gained ourselves 2 dragons. I mean, that in itself is a fucking turn in the war, I think. 2 dragons and 2 dragons' eggs, and I believe the dragon eggs can in fact hatch. And soon we'll be the king of the Stormlands and the Reach once my king passes on, and he's 45 years old, so that won't be too long. Although, currently, we cannot declare war on the Iron Throne just yet, as we are, as it says... Nope, I think I have to click on me to find all of this. But if we go here, we are at truce with the King Aemon on the Iron Throne until the 4th of August, 8060. And we're at truce with this guy here until even later than that. Those are those two little wars that you missed previously before I recorded this. But Dawn is ripe for the taking if we are willing to risk that as it is. But I do believe currently we are waiting on my guest invitations to go out for my wedding with my new wife. Just getting some entertainment and sending out the invites. The evites over the Western net, I suppose. Yeah, that was horrible, I know. But yeah, while we're waiting for that, we've got a call to arms from my son again. Have we not helped you enough? Yeah, we'll spend lavishly 30 gold order, do it. Show them who's in charge of this. Who is my son at war with now? He is at war with King Stafford the Fat. Oh, that's nice. We may as well go into war and help him out in a moment, I suppose. My wife, being incredibly badass, can tour him later on as well. It seems that the Lannisters haven't rallied their forces yet either. I'm not entirely sure how strong their forces are. My sons should be relatively weakened, considering my wife summoned their full power to fight against me in the last little war. Highgarden itself is burned to crisp, pretty much, and still burning, actually. I don't believe... Yeah. Nowhere else was burned by the dragons during the war. Shall be a glorious ceremony. Welcome to the feast. I have invited everyone, including my daughters and my sister-in-law as well. Not my son, though, apparently. He's probably too busy dealing with everything else. And the fact that he's trying to put out the fires in Highgarden. With all those bushes, it's bound to be a fire hazard. Even without the dragons. Ooh, the Lannisters have 19k troops. Meh. And they are heading straight for Highgarden, are they not? Yes, they are. And my son's going to be at Highgarden. Okay, we don't have any choice. We're rallying the troops now, even though they aren't particularly ready for a full march. It would appear that my son's army are beating back the Lannisters, but we need to get over there pretty quickly before they claim victory. Huh? The Westerland Reachman had the War of the Royal King the Reach is lost. What do you lose? Claim to... Yeah, he lost claim to Payne Hall. Idiot. Okay, guys, what we're going to do instead, I've just noticed that the Kingswood area around here is rebelling against the Iron Throne, which gives us the perfect opportunity to claim some land in the name of my vassals. So what we're going to do before we move on Dawn, and we're going to change tactics with that a little bit as well. But the first things first is claiming this. For which we won't be at war with the Iron Throne, I don't believe. At least I don't think we will be. Because they are currently at war against the Iron Throne. So we should easily be able to claim their lands before the Iron Throne gets them back in their good graces. But just in case, we'll head straight for their lands. But let that have his fun. Talk to them about kindness. There you go. Move all of them, our troops, into here. There you go. With those guys there, we should... Yeah, just pause that for a second. If we can get our Dragon Riders not busy, so they can join in the fun, as it were, we'll be able to grant them command of my armies. the rest of this military power can just go right here for now. There's no sense in getting a nutrition bonus dropped in them or something. Siege lengthens. There he goes. The beauty of dragons. Within 2 seconds, the walls have crumbled. Force my demands, and one of my fellow... My vassals already were pushing the claims of one of my vassals. So they will become part of the Stormlands, and slowly and steadily we were reclaiming all of our lost land. Is there anywhere else that we can claim at all? Oxcross is where? In the middle of there. We can't defend that. See, anything that we do declaring war officially against the Iron Throne is considered a bad thing to do. There you go, send our guys back. Yeah, if we wait a bit, just for my military to get the hang of themselves again. Just wait for some of my vassals to regain some of their troops. Yeah, humble's better. I don't know. That should be about it. We should have about 30k, 32k guys. Okay, that'll do. Now, I'm not entirely sure about the War with Dawn. What we'll do is quickly save before we do this, just in case. Just in case I screw up and do something wrong. But what I have here is a claim to the Ghost Hills. But I'm pretty sure with any of these situations, because they don't share borders directly with my lands, officially, it would mean that the general area wouldn't actually be my land. It would be somebody, it would just be like independent from everyone else. But if we claim this, it will connect to my land, and I'm pretty sure it will be mine. So we're going to go to war for this. As you see here, Castabel's used to press Lord Alex, Lord Eric of Blackhaven to claim the Lordship of Wayne. Will become your vassal if the following conditions are true. King Saul of Stormlands and are of the same dynasty. No. The current holder of Lord Warwick is the same realm. Is in the same realm as the Stormking. No, not really. See, I'm not entirely sure whether or not this will do what I expect it to be doing. But we'll do it anyway. If it fails horribly, then we'll end it, and I'll just edit it out so it never happened. But assuming that it's going to work, the reason for it not working would be simply that I haven't read it properly. We don't meet the conditions to bloody peasants. We don't meet the conditions to own the area properly as a official vassal, if you will. She will be good with numbers. Everyone keeps telling me that numbers is what the daughters should be trained at, so. There you go, I got 52k, and once again the Dragon Riders can march into battle alongside the Storm King. Probably losing nutrition as we go through Griffin's Roost because it's been burnt to a crisp. My son has asked for assistance against Stafford of the Rock again. Yep. Yeah, we'll take a squire. It appears that our War with Dawn has ended inconclusively due to something. But the long story short being the fact that we should now just go straight to war with the Lannisters. Which is fine, really. Although we are losing a lot of fucking guys to nutrition purposes right now, which is really annoying. Told him about kindness. He's getting the kind trained. Yeah, sure. Come attack me, Lannister. See where that fucking gets you. Let's see how long the Lannisters last against the dragon, shall we? Meanwhile, my son has taken the lands that he wants to take. And hopefully he'll arrive to help me out a little bit. But the Lannisters are screwed royally. And yeah, the Reachman's War has been there. King out of the Reach has won, and he gained some land to the Reach. The more land of the Westerlands that we owe for later on, the better our rule. So helping out my son in his foolish wars is going to help us out quite a bit down the line as well. We will take a squire, definitely. And see why not. Hold a grand tourney in thingy. Yeah. We'll disband all those. You never know when we could. Ah, crap. I keep forgetting to disband my troops in my own land. Otherwise you lose all the troops. Which is really something that I probably should keep an eye on and do that properly. Who are we going to educate my daughter to? Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking... Yeah, who better to teach the kid than Dragon Rider? Doesn't really... There's no real argument there. She rides a dragon. She's fucking more than qualified to control. Yeah, we have another war to fight there to claim some stuff. Ah. I believe, because we've already declared war on the Kingswood, we're currently under peace treaty with them. Yeah, this guy, see? We're at peace with him, so never mind that situation there. Anyway, guys, I do believe that's all for now. We can't go to war with pretty much anybody else unless my son calls me into another one with the Lannisters, in which case we'll go help him out. Like I said, the more we help the Reach, the more the Westerlands he takes, and the more powerful the Reach gets, the more powerful my entire kingdom will be down the line. Hopefully we can take the Kingswood and this little bit here of the Stormlands as well. And then we'll control that entire line, cutting the Westeros in half, pretty much. Eventually, I want to control all of Dawn when we've got claim to it, and we can pretty much just sail from Storm's End and land in Sunspear and kick their ass. Because you do lose a lot of nutrition going through all the Dornish mountains and everything. It's really a pain in the ass. But yeah, guys, that is all for now. So we will go to the next part. I hope you have enjoyed this. Quite a few wars has happened and quite a few events have panned out. But it's all happened for the better, I think. The Storm King's future is looking very bright, with controlling the only two dragons known in existence. And pretty much all of my enemies looking completely screwed. Especially once we control the full might of both the Stormlands and the Reach. We will be fucking unstoppable. Aegon the Targaryen reborn kind of thing. Maybe even learn to ride our own dragon at some point, rather than relying on the Targaryen sisters to do it for us. But only time will tell. Annotation top right hand side. That is all for now. Soul out.